Greetings and welcome to the energy of Cancer. This is Ron from Tarot the Twin Sun. Tarot the Twin Sun is a functional division within the order of Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. The fourth house is open. We shall be activating the energy of the moon. And this is for the month of February 2023 for the energy of Cancer. So the 4 and the 10 axis is a very interesting one. It has to do with the mother and the father. In terms of cardinal energy, bringing forth that energy of nurture combined with, excuse me, the command and the authority of the 10th house. The 10th house also is a receptacle. There's within this axis, there's the Holy Grail, essentially that which receives to its total capacity and also to its natural capacity. Essentially, this has to do with the cup being a sort of symbol, the grail being a symbol of that which can be received in terms of a greater force of enlightenment, or perhaps the healing energy of the Christ figure, also the womb of Mother Mary, the womb of mothers in general. These are all motifs within this axis. The funny thing is that Cancer will tend to pull in significant others or soul energies, depending on the placement of where Cancer is or what planets Cancer has, or if it's the ascendant. But it tends to pull in these individuals, okay? In terms of a polar opposite, individuals who are here to settle out karmas, who are also here to generate the fabric of our reality, and to put order into that, to put a sense of economy and ergonomics and functionality within that place, that world, that reality, and also to move from the 9th to the 10th house. So this has to do with places that actually reflect these people who actually reflect a certain philosophy that is based on a collective idea, okay? So it's a very lofty position. Capricorn usually gets a very negative rap, and so does Cancer. The thing is that when you're dealing with cardinal or an active force, an active agency of water as well as earth, there's a lot that has to do with calamity that can be the extreme of that kind of activity. Think of earthquakes or tsunamis, or the sort of the push and the heaviness of rain, for example. So those are just some insights to this, but essentially Capricorn people will see you in terms of a significant other as someone who embodies systems or nearby communities, voices that come to be a center, that come from a very authentic safe space, let's call it that, moving to more of a free and independent energy that is represented by Leo in the 5th house. So it's a very interesting dynamic. It moves from mutability to fixity to the cardinal energy of Cancer. So they're going to see you as essentially these people who are holding a space for a moment. Let's just call it that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll be doing 3 spreads, getting up to the Great Mirror as the 3rd spread, and we'll be doing a spread on karma as well as an incident in karma for the month of February 2023 for the energy of Cancer. Thank you for tuning in. So for the month of February, there's something about you returning to an old way of doing things, okay? It's a comfortable place. It's some place that you might have left at one point in order to face a new challenge. You've seen all of this coming, though. There would be an eventual relapse. I'm going to call it a relapse session within February, wherein you have to go back and take care of that in which you've invested your time into. You're going to find there's a lot of joy there, and people are going to want to make up with you. This is post-retrograde season in terms of Mercury, so there will be a chance to essentially enact something within your 7th house, I would say. As well, there is a possibility of the Five of Swords in the reverse. Again, a return. This has to do with the return to something that was left behind in order to face something in an emotionally intelligent way, to become active in terms of returning to this space. Could be something tied to family or relationships, a particular relationship, a way of doing things in terms of art or creativity. Whatever made you feel fulfilled at one point, you had to leave it and face a challenge. Now there is a return to that in which you left. This might put you in a space of stillness, static, a point that you would maybe call a crisis. But ultimately, I think this is going to be a very healing journey for you. You're going to find that once you return to the space that you've been, there will be an ability to know that you've planned this all along, sort of thing. Let's look deeper into this spread. I think mostly, if this is resonating for you, mostly it has to do with essentially a return back to order, an easy way of doing things, being guided and influenced in a certain way to do things. It could be also that you've needed to get away and rebel against some structure, perhaps with work, or perhaps with certain relationships where you have to get away from that routine. And meeting that challenge and trying to go back to something more fulfilling. Let's see here. Okay, so you've made the choice in terms of an incident. You've had to choose between one heart and another. You've made the choice. Okay, and ultimately, what crowns this is the ability to see your options, and furthermore, to be empowered in this choice, to do the right thing, to be empowered in choosing one heart over another. I do think that there is a possibility to return to something, but the choice you're making essentially is going to incorporate at least 2 other people, or possibly there needs to be some sort of glue or some sort of way to bring people back together. This has to do essentially with bringing focus to the mind, becoming empowered, and then this all eventually leading to the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Six of Cups in reverse, or possibly even the Four of Cups in reverse. So ultimately, I'm seeing here a way to cut through the nonsense when it comes to old ways and old patterns of doing things. You may be returning to old relationships, an old relationship in particular, to fix that. It's a friendship of some sort in order to gain your power back. And the mind is very active in terms of this. There's a lot of Mercury energy in terms of the mind. So it will oscillate, it will go to and from other relations in order to find this choice that you've made to bring power back into your life. Now, I think if you revisit old relationships, there's a possibility that you would reach the Six of Cups in the reverse, which is essentially pointing to a way to heal something that has not worked out in the past. Four of Cups in reverse means that you would choose something. There's an element of choosing, which is the Ace, and then the Three of Cups is Four of Cups. There's something where you would actually choose something, choose to do something to fix something from the past, to let it go completely, to call it out for what it really is, and you would gain your power back. Yeah, I think that should suffice for this incident. In terms of advice for this, there goes that Five of Swords again. If you're retracing your steps, especially in the way you once thought about any past relationship where you've had to extricate yourself out and maneuver yourself out in order to give you a sense of peace of mind. There's a possibility that the return that you're going to is going to show you truly how to navigate false perceptions of love or what love is, and to truly navigate to what really matters, which I think is more peace at this moment, peace of mind. The ability to choose that which has been given to you in terms of the reparation of the old, it seems like, at least for this month. Okay, now we're going to look now into the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order of the Twin Sun to see particular karmas that exist between the energy of Cancer and a significant other. The significant other can be a person, place, or thing. Please take only what you will. I do thank you for your time. Okay, so this person sees you normally as someone who can be quite critical, careful, critical, concerned with making the right choice in terms of balance, in equilibrium. Usually careful, that's the thing. And now it feels like, at least for this month, they see you as not doing or being that, not as careful. For this reason, you are trying to be economical with your thoughts. There is a sense that perhaps you've had to withdraw, perhaps you've had to be on your own as well, to also feel out truly that which makes you move in a certain way, to feel that out and to become balanced. There's a lot of Libra energy in terms of what I'm seeing here. And the thing is that if you have this energy, if it truly resonates in terms of the Venusian capacity to meet others at the 7th house and essentially deal with those people in a way of thinking, in a way of doing, so that things are equal. In this respect, you might mirror this person. This person would see you as an equal in terms of justice in the reverse. At the same time, there's something about them that is quite logistical in that in which they do. They are here essentially to help you out with something that has to do with the mind, an imbalance in the mind. There also is something about you that would deeply appreciate this. The thing is that on the soul level, they tend to be quite objective. They tend to treat most relationships with a set of distance, a set distance in which they can feel comfortable to do what they will when they will. But with justice in reverse, it's like there's a potential on a conscious level that they might do the wrong thing in terms of wielding the sword of truth and also using it in the wrong way. In this respect, the cross swords as well as the sword of truth are being set down. And this allows for communication, true communication to occur. The thing is that they might perceive what you say to be inauthentic in some sort of way. And perhaps there's a need to balance that out by calling them out on their bullshit when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to truly what they mean, without being dogmatic. There is a hand of righteousness that is overly used on their side. At the same time, this suggests the Chariot. There's something here very strong about the two horses, as well as the two knights on the horse, which one is the Knight of Cups, the other is the Knight of Swords. So a fusion between water and air, between emotions and intellect, between romance and intellectual endeavor. There's something about them that has a lot of potential to balance you out in some sort of way. But I think you're more going with the flow, especially with the Six of Swords in the reverse pointed at with the 2 and the 4 here. There's something ergonomical about you. There's something economical in which you're not going to waste time, nor will you waste random thoughts. However, your thoughts are being more reactive in nature with the 4 of Swords in reverse. Perhaps this is something that you want to do. You want to get out of a way of thinking, and perhaps you're searching for horizons to sense out fertility in other places, in other relationships. The thing is that with the Empress here, as well as with Justice, Venus is quite strong in this reading. One has to do more with the Taurian side of Venus. The other has to do with the 7th house, the Libraic side of Venus. And when these two correlate, it's like combining the 2nd and the 7th house, which is a fixed and cardinal energy. Okay, combining those two together. And I would say they mingle well because Venus naturally wants to acclimate, wants to share with each other. So there's a possibility of a shared concern. But at the same time, we have the Tower in reverse, we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 10 of Cups in reverse in the mirror. So when it comes to this, your desires here, I mean, if this person is going to give you an offer in terms of the Knight of Cups, it will essentially bring the 10 of Cups in the reverse to the 9, okay, in the reverse. So there would be a choosing. At the same time, there's something corrosive about this choosing. It would also bring it back to the 9 from the 10 of Cups in reverse to the 9, which is not exactly harmonious in this reading. It would be like a forced acceptance. At the same time, maybe perhaps it's something that you want. Perhaps you've been taking too much time on your own, and there's a need to essentially reach out in some sort of way. Let's see what happens if that is so. World, as well as Force Majeure, the Devil card, and the World. There would be, okay, and there's that Venus energy again. And Taurus as well. There would be a chance for a new perspective, a new commitment, but you would maybe not want to get locked into that perspective or that commitment. There's something about this that it speaks volumes about not being able to commit properly, especially with 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. There's something about this that requires a lot more communication, conscious communication. Tower in reverse, there's a need to avoid calamity here more than anything, and not bind oneself into a sense of prison. The thing is that the Knight is moving away, but then the horse is turning around in terms of this Knight of Swords. So it goes back to the trail that is left off by the Empress card here. So ultimately, what I'm seeing here is, yes, there's likeness. Yes, there's a possibility to do something, but you shouldn't do so just so that you can be locked into some sort of old cycle. This person is trying to help you to understand something that is a natural flow to you. The more you let loose the mind, the more you find a meditative state, you're going to find that you're going to be able to produce more useful thoughts, as well as ways of thinking, ways of speaking that are more Venusian in nature, that actually carry a grace and an elegance of the Empress. And this will allow you to essentially pull this person's energy if you wanted it. And also, there is a sense that you can also exact some sort of karma. The thing is that you are in a quasi pseudo-critical state of mind, and there's something about you that needs to be careful about where you place your focus, because there has been an element of escapism in your energy for this month. There will be, and there is a possibility that you would want to return to something, as mentioned earlier. In terms of advice, pay attention to what is naturally feeling like the right path or the wrong path. There is an obligation to do the right thing in terms of the limelight, and your own independent actions, they would still affect others. And it's important to note how you have an effect on others in terms of being an example, okay? That is the best I can do for this month. I do wish you well. Thank you. Bye-bye.